Joining us now is Attorney Michael Yusinko, Senior Research Fellow at the Ateneo Policy Center. Good morning, Attorney. Thank you for joining us again.
Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Diego. At good morning sa lahat ng mga nanonood at nakikinig sa programa niyo.
Well, here we are again talking about the impeachment just like last year, Attorney. Okay, so this time around, as I've said kanina dun sa Mojo namin, this is going to be a different kind of voting because last year nga, alam naman natin, 1/3 ng signature yung ginawa nila to pass it to the Senate. Pero right now, kailangan nila itong 1/3 ng vote sa Kamara. What can you say about this? Ano po yung mga nakikita niyo, mga basa niyo po based on the reports na may mga numero, merong hindi, merong aabot sa katulad ng numero last year? Go ahead, Attorney.
I think ang main difference dito talaga, aside from the process, no, I think the main difference is this time around, meron tayong mapanghahawakan na ebidensya to support the determination of probable cause to impeach. And specifically, and this is I think very important, we have documentary of evidence. No? Para sa akin kasi, yung documentary evidence na galing sa COA, galing sa AMLAC, and galing sa Ombudsman, these are the clear and convincing pieces of evidence that support the impeachment, no, of the Vice President. So, ito yung pagkakaiba kaysa last year. Kasi last year, parang sinagasaan tayo. Di natin alam ano yung basehan eh. But now, we were given the opportunity to observe the presentation of these documentary evidence. And I think, ito yung critical kung bakit maraming mga mambabatas ang nagsasabi na well, we have to vote yes kasi the evidence points to it. Otherwise, mapagbibintangan tayo na hindi sumusunod sa katungkulan natin.
Okay, Attorney, now, also yung issue kasi dito is exposed yung mga boboto. Kasi last year parang tama ka, sinagasaan, tapos nag-gather lang ng signatures, tapos yun na yun. At i-transmit nila sa Senate. This time kasi, they're going to be voting and they're going to explain their vote, so they're exposed to the public. Ngayon, given that with that exposure to the public, do you think the numbers na makukuha nila sa botohan will be less or more? Kasi I'm sure maingat sila sa constituents sila because they all want to win in the upcoming elections.
Pero, Diego, no, that's a fair point. But I think we've gone beyond that point kasi merong ebidensya talaga eh. Yun yung hindi mo maiikutan eh. The evidence is there. And particularly, the documentary evidence is there. And you cannot avoid that. No? The only way to avoid that, sabi nga ni Angela kanina, is mag-absent ka. Right? And that means you are, merong dereliction of duty doon. No? You're avoiding your duty or the performance of your duty to vote. Now, kung boboto ka ng hindi, for example, boboto ka ng hindi, then you have to explain why, despite of the documentary evidence, you're not voting impeachment. So, tama ka, Diego, it's going to expose the lawmakers. It's going to force them to defend themselves or to defend their positions. But that's part of the job. That's part of their duty. So, they shouldn't avoid it. Now, kung a-avoid nila yon, then malaking kahihiyan yun.
Ngayon, Attorney, baka you could share with us yung, based sa legal side nito, no? If, let's say, hypothetically, nagkabatuhan and impeach siya sa Congress and it's set for transmission sa Senate, is this the point of no return for VP Sara? Meaning, hindi na siya pwede mag-resign because it won't save her from the Senate pursuing a trial regardless of nag-resign siya or hindi. Because pag-uusapan pa rin dito is wala na siya sa office but the question of perpetual disqualification still hangs in the balance pending a conviction.
That's a good question. No? So let's tackle it step by step. So kung na-impeach na siya and it is transmitted, the articles are transmitted to the Senate, in a way that is a point of no return. In a sense that the trial will continue.
So after the impeachment sa House, no return na yon?
Yes, but
Okay.
in the sense that the trial will continue.
Okay.
Kahit pwede siya mag-resign if she wants to anytime, but that will not stop the trial, the impeachment trial, or it shouldn't stop the impeachment trial kasi na-impeach na siya,
Yes.
right? So that has to continue kasi when you're impeached, that means there's already evidence that shows that you're unfit for public office, right? Kumbaga meron ng ebidensya na
Yeah.
nagsasabi na hindi ka dapat hindi ka dapat public official, no? So the trial should continue kahit nag-resign na siya so that judgment will still be rendered, no? Yung perpetual disqualification. Kasi kung hindi i-render yun, then kumbaga kung titigil yung trial, then an impeached official can still run for office or can still be appointed. And I think the Constitution, although that has happened already, no, sa Manila, di ba, when an impeached official was elected as mayor, and a pardoned plunderer to boot, no? So alam natin na hindi maganda yung kalalabasan kung ganon, right? And I don't think the Constitution contemplated an absurd situation like that na isang impeached official ay bibigyan ng pagkakataon ma-elect or ma-appoint ulit, no? Despite the evidence na hindi nga siya fit for office
Yeah.
for public office. So it's a point of no return in the sense na tutuloy-tuloy na yung trial. But certainly she can resign anytime she wants.
Okay. All right. So the million-dollar question, attorney, ang usapin, let's say for example, the impeachment is transmitted to the Senate. Are they kumbaga, required to immediately convene
Forthwith.
as an impeachment court? Or, etong sinasabi ni Senator Ping Lacson at of course ni Senator Robin Hood Padilla na i-oppose nila, 'di ba, yung impeachment. What does the Constitution say about this?
That's a good question. Ano? So, batay na rin dun sa decision ng Supreme Court, I think kailangan malinaw na there is no question whether to convene or not. No, hindi tanong 'yon. Because the Constitution is very clear that once the articles are transmitted to the Senate, they have to conduct trial. That means kailangan talaga mag-convene as an impeachment court. There is no kumbaga opportunity or chance to vote whether to convene or not.
Oo, talaga?
Kailangan
Oo.
convene. That is a clear and direct command by the Constitution. Now, ang tanong na lang is, when? Right?
Forthwith.
When will they convene?
Yun nga yung parang nakikitaan natin na parang loophole na sinasabi din eh. Dahil because according to Senator Ping Lacson, so once the impeachment, articles of impeachment is transmitted to them, hindi pa sila impeachment court. They will convene pa lang. So before mag-convene, po pwedeng may opposition na magsabi ng, okay, let's not convene as an impeachment court. Yun yung nilalaban nila na maaring mangyari. But of course, Senator Tito Soto said naman, sa akin, ang ibig sabihin ng forthwith sa akin, agad-agad. So what happens now? Do they
What will they vote
defy the Supreme Court?
What
And
will they
I
vote
don't
on in
know.
essence?
So if they ask themselves, should we convene or not, they're actually violating the Constitution agad. No? Kasi malinaw yung Constitution na dapat mag-trial. So there is no question whether to convene or not. No? Ang tanong lang, ang question lang, ang variable lang, I would say, is yung when do we convene
Right.
as an impeachment court, and when do we conduct trial? Ito na yung ito na yung decision na konsepto na reasonable time,
Yes.
right? Pero ang ibig sabihin ng forthwith dito is they have to respond immediately without any delay.
Tama
So
ka.
that response could be, gaya ng sabi ni Senate President Soto, is mag-trial agad because they are already ready.
Yeah.
In other words, nakapaghanda na sila, meron na sila mga robes, nasukatan na sila. They can conduct the trial within a week, 'di ba? Yun ang sabi ni Senate President Soto. But if they are not yet ready for some reason or another, then they have to get ready. That is the immediate response. Get ready for trial.
Yeah.
So dito na
makes
pumapasok yung konsepto na reasonable time.
Dapat
Kailangan
mag-conduct
they-
ka yata ng seminar doon, attorney. Para alam nila yung gagawin.
Ang sinasabi ng Constitution at ng Korte Suprema is that they have to act immediately. Now, whether that action is trial na agad, that means they're already ready, or to get ready. Kailangan maghanda na sila.
Fair
But the point is they have to act immediately without any delay.
Okay, so attorney, we had si former Congressman Tañada and Attorney Tañada on the show, no? The other day. And basically, halos pareho ang sinabi niya. Parang sinasabi kasi niya, ang ruling ng Supreme Court merely just said, in layman's terms, magko-convene kayo, pero question is reasonable time, meaning bahala kayo kailan kayo magko-convene. Kung walang balakid, kung walang legal question or implication, you have to convene right away. Kung meron, resolve it and then you convene. So,
Parang reasonable delay.
kumbaga, in essence, yung ba ang ibig ng Supreme Court, ibig sabihin ng Supreme Court, kung walang legal implications or roadblocks, kailangan mag-convene kayo?
I would go one step further than that by saying na wala talagang legal blockade dapat because the Constitution is very clear that you have to convene because the order is to conduct trial forthwith or immediately.
I guess attorney, pinanggagalingan kasi yung last year, no, supposedly may mali daw sa process and interpreted by
But
the
they've
Senate then Senate President Escudero.
Oo.
I think that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
the issue. Na when senators will say na hindi ka agad dapat kumilos because of this problem, that problem, yun na nga ang mali eh.
Oo. Pero ngayon
Sinasabi nga
kasi
ng-
wala na 'yon, 'di ba? They've already yung House Justice Committee,
Resolved it.
'di ba, resolved yung process, naging maingat sila para hindi sila ma-technical at this point. Yun ang sinasabi ni Chairman Jervil Luistro.
And yes, that's true. But also kudos to Senate President Soto saying na maghahanda na kami, paghahandaan na namin, settle the administrative matters so that when it is transmitted to us, we can proceed to trial forthwith.
Okay.
That's the correct way to approach it. Common sense and also constitutional.
Word of the day, common sense and constitutional.
Sana all of them have it.
Pero eto, very quickly na lang, attorney, before we let you go. Of course, ang daming mga nagsalita ng mga members of the Congress and saying na mostly ang magiging basehan ng kanilang pagboto dito sa impeachment na to ay conscience vote. 'Di ba? So, well, technically, in reality, sabi nga natin, dapat through ang kanilang kumbaga pagbabasihan ng kanilang pagboto ay through evidence, but this is conscience vote. What is your take on that?
Wala. Hindi ba lahat dapat ng vote is conscience vote? Every time we vote, we should use our conscience, di ba? But the point is, whether you classify it as conscience vote or principle vote, the vote must be based on the evidence presented.
Exactly.
You cannot vote otherwise. In other words, you cannot vote without referring
Dahil iba
to
yung
the
pulso
evidence.
ng iba.
Same sentiment I hear. That's why hindi ko maintindihan, attorney, yung conscience vote ng partido di ba? So kung sinabi ng partido matibay yung evidence, sabi ng konsensya ko, ayoko, baka matalo ako sa distrito ko
That's unfair.
That doesn't make sense, right?
Ito yan.
then your conscience is not a conscience. Hindi siya si Jiminy Cricket, di ba? Baka ibang ibang creature yung nagsasabi sa iyo.
Oo. You're not being true to yourself, you're not being true to your constituents, di ba?
Yeah, and the
to
Constitution. Exactly.
Alright, on that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong insights, Attorney Michael Yusinco, Senior Research Fellow at the Ateneo Policy Center. Magandang umaga po.